Hi everyone, this is JarlXL. The season of love for Gwent is still going on, but today the event will end, I guess. And in this weekend there was a tournament. I don't remember the name of the tournament, but you know, there were top 16, actually top 14 players competing against each other. And we have seen some competitive decks, different lists. Unfortunately, there were only 4 factions basically that people were playing. Among those four factions, I think there are some variety in the lists, but it is kind of concerning for the factions Squirtle and Monsters. But I'm going to be shooting a couple of discussion videos for those 2 factions in the following week, so I'm not going to talk much about that. Instead, in addition to that, I'm going to be shooting some, deck guides for the remaining factions, mostly competitive lists, but I'll try to be selective and, pick the lists that I haven't played before, or at least some variations in those lists, and today is one of them. The Self-Wound deck, but it's not Ursine Ritual, it's Battle Trance version. Some people were playing last week and on the ladder, and on top of that 2 or 3 people brought out a list like this to the tournament, and I found it interesting. It looks like a typical get in it alchemy deck, but in addition we're adding Self-Wound cards, and interestingly Self-Wound works pretty good with Battle Trance leader ability as well, because the passive ability is whenever you play an alchemy card, heal a random allied unit by 1, and there will be damaged units on your side of the board. So and we have several alchemy cards in our lists, so as long as we play them, we get additional points from the passive ability. And on top of that, the newly revised card enables us to play the Self-Wound archetype, which are Sigvald and Knut. And Sigvald is really crazy, especially in this list. Sigvald has become really an interesting card. It is kind of complicated, but the thing is, this unit cannot be damaged easily. Whenever you deal damage, he gains bleeding for the same duration instead, equal to the damage. So it is really difficult to kill Sigvald. Opponents can lock him though, so that will be effective, but you can't just duel him or something like that, because he's gonna receive bleeding equal to that damage. So he is a tough guy, definitely. But this is not an Ursine Ritual. How are you gonna damage him? Well, we're gonna play Melusine to damage him, but on top of that, we're gonna play Mardrom. Mardrom works really great with Sigvald, because you damage a unit by 3. The thing is, Sigvald will receive 3 bleeding only. He's not going to receive 3 damage, and then he's going to boost himself by 9. So it's going to play for 9 instead of 6, and if there are other damage units, thanks to the leader ability, you can get some additional value. So these Mardroms really work well, and Battle Trance leader ability has a Mardrom tag with it. So that's the 3rd Mardrom. And there is also Gedenit. So Gedenit's final chapter is also playing Mardrom. So there are a lot of cards like that. And since you boost your Sigvald with your leader and Mardroms and so on, you can play Becker's Dark Mirror on him. So if it's boosted, damage it by double the amount boosted. So suppose he's boosted by 10. So you damage him by 20, and instead he receives 20 bleeding. And then you use the order ability on him. So that bleeding, you're gonna kill one of your low-powered units, and then the amount of bleeding will turn into a boost on Sigvald. So Sigvald could play for 70 points or something like that, if all requirements are met. It's not easy to pull off, but it's definitely worth trying. And some cards are flexible. Like Becker's Dark Mirror. This is normally a terrible card. I didn't play this card until this list came up. The thing is, you can play this card offensively, because since the meta is extremely greedy, you're gonna see some really boosted units, really tall units. So Becker's Dark Mirror could kill a Flutter, or the pirate guy in Syndicate. So I mean, it's gonna play at least for 12 or 15 points or something like that if you play it like that. And maybe you can play on your own Melusine if she is damaged a lot. So it could work like a restore, card. So I like it actually. So for 8 provisions, it's gonna bring definitely more value, and it's really difficult to break this. So it is logical to play it. Unfortunately, it's not an alchemy. It's just a spell card. Okay, so that's the thing we're trying to pull off here. But there are a lot of cards that support this, interaction. I mean, we have some alternate victory conditions. I mean, we have Gedenith, obviously. So Gedenith is really good, both in long and short rounds. In long rounds, I mean, if your Crow Clan Preachers survive, we got a lot of 4 provision, alchemy cards. So they will keep boosting themselves by 2 if there are 2 of them in the play. So that's a lot of points. But I mean, even for a 3-card round, if you draw your Gedenith and 2 druids, you win the game as well. So that's also a great short round finish. And one of the bad let's say sides of this deck is the weakness. I would say weakness of this deck is there are only 3 druids. So these 2 and Bride of the Sea. So you got to be careful and selective when you play them. Well, we have a lot of resurrection cards, so you can replay them from your graveyard, but there are better resurrection targets. So you got to be careful when you play these 3. Okay, so what are your resurrection targets? Well, Melusine is obviously one, especially if you can draw her round 1. I mean, throughout the 3 rounds, she's going to bring a lot of value. And how are you going to replay her? Well, we got obviously Ficusia to bring her back. And there is also Sigrifa's Right, which is also an alchemy card. So that's our second option. And as a third option, if you could produce 4 rounds of rain, you can play Bride of the Sea onto a second Sigrifa's Right. So that is the third option. Not bad. And Melusine for like 20 points as a short round finisher, not bad either. So keep that in mind. And then, what else do we want to resurrect? Well, sometimes Defender is a pain in the ass for the opponent to deal with. So you can always res your Defender again. And then, these 2 cards, I mean, Sigvald could be resurrected, especially with Melusine. It's going to produce additional, rain, because he's only 7 provisions. And on top of that, what do we have? Knut. Yeah, we haven't talked about this guy. He's better in the Ursine Ritual version, because when you play him, what he's gonna do is, I mean, he's gonna, damage an allied unit by half of his current power, then damage an enemy unit by the same amount. So if you have your Sigvald in play, he can, damage Sigvald. Sigvald will just receive bleeding, not gonna be actually damaged, and then you can, direct that damage to something else. Sigvald will be usually 7 or 6, so it's going to be 3 or 4 damage, not much actually. And also, if it's like 3.5 damage, you're gonna round it up to the 4, so it's not gonna round down. And then, well, you can use it on Melusine. That's an option. Sure, Melusine could get really huge, so that's pretty good. And if you played your leader on Sigvald, I mean, it's gonna be even better. If he is like 13 or 14, I mean, Knut will damage him by 7, kill a 7 powered unit or something like that, and Sigvald will just receive bleeding. So everything good there. Okay, so again, Knut could be resurrected, but I mean, these are your last options. And what else do we have? Well, we need some consistency, obviously, so we're running the obvious, discard package as all the Skellige, lists are running. I think that's the only, negative thing about Skellige right now. You don't have any other consistency cards other than discard, and discard package isn't reliable at all. So what is a discard package? We have a single we have Coral and Bernabrand as gold discarders, and our discard cards are Morkvark, the regular Morkvark, and a couple of Tursak skirmishers, and there's also another discarder, Hayme Skeld. So this is our 5-card discard package. And well, if you can't draw them in the first round, you're in trouble. I mean, if you draw all of them in the final round, yeah, that's good. But still, you want to thin earlier so that you could reach your goals earlier than the opponent. So that's why it is kind of important. And if you have them, I wouldn't recommend, keeping them. Just play them and try to reach these more important cards in your deck. And as you see, the list is kind of interesting. After 7 provisions, there isn't anything in between. It's really polarized. 4 provisioned bronzes, and then 7 and plus gold cards. Interesting, right? And there's also Alzur's Double Cross for consistency. I mean, I could run for Royal Decree, but if I do that, I mean, you're seeing this already, a lot of 4 cards. So there is no 3 provision cards, so we can't just... I mean, if we play... Royal Decree, maybe we ditch Coral and add another Skeld and add a 8 or 7 provision gold or something like that. That could be done, obviously. But what is Alzur's Double Cross drawing? Well, there are 4 units with 7 power in this list: Melusine, Covenant of Steel, and Sigvald and Knut. So you're not sure what you're drawing, but if you have some of them already in your hands, maybe you're guaranteed to draw the card you want. Well, but most of the time you are not, so you have like 2 or 3 options, and then you play your double cross and hope for the best. But I mean, all of the targets are pretty good. And in the last round, if you have a critical card missing like Sigvald, well, that double cross will be really valuable. So in some ways it's better than Royal Decree because it's 1 provision less. And finally, let's take a look at our 4 provision bronzes and the alchemy cards. We have a single Swallow. This is an alchemy boost unit by 6, so not bad. Also really helps out the druids. Double Mardroms, double Mahakamails, a lot of luck running in the ladder, so that's why it's here, and coincidentally it's an alchemy card, although it's neutral. And finally, a couple of armored Drakars. These are the worst cards in the deck. If you don't have like Melusine, there is no damager card. How are you gonna damage them? Maybe play your Mardrom on them, but that's like the worst case scenario. So actually for 4 provision we have druid options like this. Hermit is pretty good, since we don't have enough druids in our deck to trigger getting it. It makes sense to play this guy, right? But when we do that, just remember Alzur's Double Cross. So we have 4 units with 7 power already, so that's gonna be the 5th 7 provision unit, or 6th if you remove 2 of them. So you play your Double Cross in the final round, so instead of Sigvald, you draw this. That's really bad. That's why, I mean, we have to sacrifice this and play the armored Drakars. And you have discard package. Worst case scenario, you can ditch them. But if you have what's her name, the Melusine, yeah, they will really work well next to Melusine. And also keep that in mind, you don't have a lot of cultists in the deck. Sigvald is a cultist and Knut is a cultist, so you can't produce rain anytime you want. But the ideal scenario is Sigvald next to Melusine, so with that you can produce rain every round. Okay, so this is the list, and I have 2 games to share with you. They were okay, and you're gonna see demonstration of the interactions that I talked about here, and hopefully you like it. I don't think this is a tier 1 or even tier 2 deck. I think the other version is better, but I have played that version in the Turkish Duello channel, So if you're curious about it, you can check that out. And actually there is an optimized version of it. Maybe, you know, next week I will play the optimized version. But personally, I'd rather play Onslaught because I like playing control decks. This is not a control deck. This is obviously a, you know, engine deck. The only control option you have is Knut. That's about it. Nothing else. Not a heat wave, not a lock. You just try to produce as many points as you can. Also, you know, avoiding the, you know, opponent's threats. It's not very easy to play. You got to be careful about especially Knut, Sigvald, and all those interactions. But that's a pretty good list. I think it's competitive, so I think it's a copy of one of the players participated in the tournament. So it's not my list, and it's definitely not a crap list because people played it during the tournament. So give it a try. Okay, see you at the end. Bye bye. So can we win against NR? We will see. We got the entire discard package in hand. Interesting. It's gonna be really interesting here. Okay. So I gotta play. Yeah, okay, these are pretty good as first place, I guess. Let's keep this for Margarita. Yeah, I'm gonna keep this hand. Let's start with Melusini. So are we going to see Selkirk right away? We may. And that won't be a bad play. Maybe I should have gone for Defender first. But I think I will use Defender later. Yeah, he goes for Selkirk. Okay. Let's play this. I'm not gonna use the Mask of Ouroboros. There's no way he can kill me. Kill Coral. Not me. Rafard's Vengeance. So I'm gonna be drawing 3 cards here for 6 damage. I mean, I know it's not gonna kill Vengeance, but what the hell is this? I thought I was playing against a normal deck. What in the god name is that? Okay. Okay, so I'm passing here. He played Amphibious Assault. He can't play for like 15 points in a card, in a single card. This is terrible, by the way. So I think this is a siege deck. I don't think it's Alumni. Yeah, I mean we can't tell what it is from this because both are playing Siege Tower. I'm gonna pass here. Hopefully there's not a winch. points, which will bring a lot of points to the board, plus thinning. So opponent has only one leader remaining, but that leader charge is probably going to be used for Prince Sensei, I guess. That's not a great card. Are we going for a long round? We are. Okay. Okay. So it's siege then. Well, my MMR is pretty low, so I shouldn't be surprised. Terrible deck, but who knows? Maybe we could win. Oh, we need to play Defender before playing Gedinith, and obviously gotta find a Tripass target here. I think Drakkar is the best one. So Sigvald is Alzur's double cross target. So opponent's seriously thinking about pushing me. Great. Let's play this. So what was this? I need 1 point. Should I play Cram Preacher? I mean, everything is great. I think I have to play that. I mean, playing Defender is not the greatest. So we have to do this. Carabalist isn't a bad card. I mean, why did you do that? So let's draw the other. Okay, Alzur's double cross will draw one of these. So instead I'm gonna toss this. Please? Screw this, man. Come on. I couldn't draw any of the units here. But terrible, terrible, terrible situation. I think I will play Sigvald with double cross before playing anything. Yeah, there's Unsay. No leader charge left. Should I go for Gedinith first? Hit me. Okay. gonna resurrect this. 6 rounds of rain. Okay. This is gonna be interesting, definitely. No siege. Okay, so there are 8. Pink, pink. Boiling oil. Yeah, that could get a lot of points there. A scorch. So since there are 4 rounds of rain, I'm gonna be playing this, but I'm not sure which card I want to play here. Maybe Covenant of Steel is better. Maybe. But still, Melusine is really a good card. King Hellsalt, okay. So which card is the more threatening one? Let's put this here. I think we should kill Bellis. Well, that's also dangerous. What am I gonna do with the backwards Dark Mirror? Trollo. More rain. Okay. Opponent needs to kill this immediately. Okay, that's good. He's still alive. Okay, another one bites the dust. There goes Baron Ram. let's do this and then this. It's not gonna change much. Interesting. And then Iran. Just I think it's an unlucky opponent, unable to draw his siege. Would it matter if the opponent was able to draw his siege? Not with this list. The list he was playing was just not optimal. Against vampires. We're on blue coin, red coin, which is great. Let's take a look at our hand. Okay, these three are pretty good. Actually, I don't need Scald. Armored Drakkar. Well, I don't have Melusine. Okay. Okay. Well, at least we got some discard targets. Becker's Dark Mirror could be really useful against flatters, so I could use it offensively. Okay, opponent starts immediately with Cave Troll. I think I'm gonna respond with Covenant of Steel, so I need to put my high powered units, because the opponent will play the Witch's Sabbath, so I need my better cards in the graveyard. So I'm gonna play Coral next, and hopefully I can draw Melusine, but it's just one card draw. But well, Birna could maybe draw me some stuff. It's not a card that we want to draw. Nice ping there. So gonna go for Birna here, and sadly Birna will be resurrected probably. Okay, there's Flatter. Luckily I'm on red coin. I don't think I should play Birna here, because Coral will be resurrected, and when Coral is on the play, Birna will play for more points. So I'm gonna play Drakkar here, I guess, or maybe a boost card. I don't think so. Let's play Drakkar. Opponent didn't use his stratagem yet. So hopefully the third resurrect will be Drakkar. And that's not great for me. Because I mean, two flatters. I mean, there's the possibility of resurrecting two flatters, a defender. I mean, Nekurat is also an option. What is the opponent doing? He was just gonna pass. Oh god. Don't you know how the game works? So opponent goes will go for the long run, I guess, for no reason. Okay. So I'm pretty sure we're gonna see some insane numbers. I don't need Croakland Preacher, I don't need 2 Mahakam Males, just need better cards. Where are my golds? It's a pretty bad hand. So opponent has 8 cards. Okay, so 2 cards down goes for bleed. And my hand is like crap. At least we can recycle our hand. Cancel. This has been changed. Okay, that's good. Again, finds the defender. Thank you. Again, finds the defender. I'm kind of speechless here. There are so many cards that I want to draw. But maybe it's for best to leave Gedinith and 2 Croakland Preachers, so hopefully I can draw Ozur's double cross at least with double Birna draws. That's no brainer there. If you're going for a crazy bleed, go ahead. Let's put this, maybe she can absorb some bleed with the whale. Is there a Fukusia target? Oh, great. So hopefully some cards die and I can... Well, I'm gonna send some stuff to the graveyard, so... I may need some space on the front row. Let's put this on range row. Okay, that is the card. Those are the cards I'm looking for, actually, not that. So these 2 are going to the graveyard. Again, defender, but this time I'm not sad about it. So I'm gonna play... Okay, it's not great. I'm gonna put this next to... And then... Get rid of the defender, finally. Backer's Dark Mirror will play for tremendous amount of points here. Knut needs one more damage. And then maybe I can play Sigvald. What is going on here? Opponents just lost it. Okay, so if I play Fugusio, Defender, melee row, it's gonna be 8 cards. And then this is going to be the 9th card, right? So I don't need anything else. Or maybe just go for Sacrifice right here. I think that's better. Okay, Knut's gonna be 5. Okay. Okay, crazy game. Okay, so Knut doesn't need to take any more damage. Let's just hit the melee roll as much as possible. Okay. Opponents at 2 cards. I think I'm gonna kill this with this. And then use leader on this, maybe. Okay. So I have double assay. And probably it will draw my Gedinith and other things. There is Gedi, and there is the other cards. Well, this is pretty good. But I think these boost cards are better here. The opponent just completely went nuts. I mean, even if this gets heat waved, I'm fine. So Melusine is for 21 points. Unless we see some squirrel action. She's gonna see the end of the day. I mean, Gwent has become really an interesting game. Every game is like, you know, opponents keep pushing and pushing for the second round. It is just crazy. What, Parasite? Oriana. Not bad. Okay, so I think I'm gonna draw something that will bring 4 rounds of rain to the table and then replace Sigrid What's right. But before that, let's choose this. And storm on opponent's side. Well, the thing is, these are 7 provisions, and it's not gonna be enough, I guess. But anyway, let's just play this. Let's play something. Kind of a pointless split, wasn't it? Well, Becker's Darkmare could be used like that as well, I guess. Okay, so that's it for me. So thank you for watching and hope to see you on another Duello video. Bye bye.